Hey, coaches, at this point, welcome to the 96th annual Nixa Invitational Tournament. Super excited for you to be here. Just a reminder, we will be live. So if you're here with someone you should not be here with, you might want to move. But we will be live here. We got 4 minutes at tip-off. Maybe there's a little reaction to that someone. If you're not be here, make sure to go to the YouTube channel. It's a Broken Schools. They can catch it to the new because Nets belongs to this Central Cast program. They're one of our great sponsors. They sponsor all our Nixa podcast crew. Brought to you by the Nixa podcast crew. Sponsored by Coach Mr. Jordan Burns. So we're super happy with those and all the work they provide. Also, another great sponsor for our hospitality room, Rice Cover Nixa. You've never thought you wanted Nixa there? Or need something, make sure you visit Rice Cover. Full selection of the entire order. You know that just in these high school years, we're shooting it down. One more announcement, we got 3 cups. My favorite word, 3 cups. Hey, out the concession stand, Nixa High School Cups. These Eagles up in the nice plastic cups. Make sure you see Leah. Leah's walking in the concession stand. Grab yourself a 3 cups. We got tip-off, not a few minutes. We'll do 5 seconds. Here is high school. Basketball, 2023. That's the best shot I can do.
It's a great day for some basketball. It's nice and raining out, so being indoors is nice.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be a good game between 2 good girls teams. Both have good records. Looking forward to see how these teams can play. Republic very solid. Hasn't played Nixa yet, but I know West Plains has played them twice. Came up short both times, but they're a very good team. I think 13-4. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, so this should be a pretty good game. Looking lazy, hopefully put up a good game against Republic and look to beat them.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be tough. Republic's a very good team. They have, I think, a nominee for All-American in Cayman Beckmeyer, committed to Missouri State. Very good player. She'll definitely steal the court tonight. And we're going to go to a break here, and we'll be back in about a minute for the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nixa honor and we truly cherish the moments when we are called upon to share our patriotism. For all the veterans attending this event, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice and your proverbial hats off to you and your families for the price you paid so that we could be free. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand, gentlemen, remove cover. Place your hands over your hearts for the playing of not yours and not mine, but our national anthem. For sponsoring our hospitality team, and for sponsoring our Nixa Live broadcast crew. Well, folks, let's meet the 11 and 4 West Plains Scissors. She's a 5'7" senior, wearing number 4, Zoe Williams. She's a 6' senior, she wears number 10, Nixa. She's a 5'9" senior, number 21, Ruth Harris. She's a 6'1" junior, double 2 on her back, Alyssa Joyner. And she's a 5'8" junior, number 25, Olivia Massa. And now hosts, the starters. For the 13th Blue Republic Tigers. She's a 5'4" junior guard, number 1, Masara Navara. She's a 5'6" junior guard, number 2, Lauren Chastain. She's a 5'5" junior guard, number 12, Molly Blaze. She's a 5'9" forward, she's a junior, she wears cruises on her, Elena Norma. And she's a 5'10" shooting guard forward, you know her, folks, the coaches, the Scissors, and Tigers, Scott Womack, the Scissors, and Chris Flood, both the Republic Tigers. Folks, tonight's official, Blake Miller, Matt Kinsley, and Jordan Hunter. Folks, it's time to look at the 96th annual Nixa Invitational Tournament.
Here we go at Eagle Fieldhouse. The Scissors will start with the ball. Lawson bringing it down the court. Pass over. That'll be out of bounds on Republic. It looks like Chastain got a hand in there. Pass inbound.
Scissors.
To Lawson for the two.
That's a great start for the Zizzers. Olivia Lawson cut into the hole to find an easy basket to start off the game.
Tigers answer.
Warnhurst with the two to answer back for Republic. Lawson bringing down the ball. Pass over to Harris, back to Dixon. To Williams up top. Pass out to the corner. Bang.
Nice look.
To
2-point
Dixon.
bucket. Haley Nixa.
Double dribble called.
Schornhurst with the double dribble.
That's the wrong roster, Troy. That's
Yeah.
Mizora Nambara.
Sorry, I'm getting used to this since neither used to announcing Nixa games. We have Williams bringing down the ball. Pass over to Lawson. Back to Williams. To Joyner. Back to Williams. Oh. Harris could not put that shot in. Beckmeyer bringing down the ball. The pass up. Blades to Beckmeyer. Beckmeyer driving. Beckmeyer with the jumper. Just off.
I think West Plains just needs to keep attacking here. They're running a pass and cut offense, and it's finding good opportunities for good shots to get some points early up on the board.
Yes. Williams. Tough shot there. Beckmeyer with the rebound. Beckmeyer to the corner.
Nice
Great
look.
look by Norman.
22. Elena Norma.
Lawson bringing down the ball. The pass over to Williams. To Dixon. Dixon with the drive, and she puts it in.
West Plains is playing very aggressive, driving to the hole and getting any shot up close that they can early on.
The Zizzers with the press on Nambara, and that will be out on the Zizzers. Nambara up top.
Whoa. Nobody over there.
Nope.
Nobody over there. I think West Plains has had a really sharp start to this game. They've been looking good on the defensive and offensive side.
Great ball movement by the Zizzers so far.
Yeah, definitely.
Lawson driving in, kicking it out to Williams. Williams bringing it back up top. Oh. To Lawson up top. Dribbling in, trying to find something. Joyner does it herself with the two.
Nice little pull-up jumper there by Joyner. Does a little spin move and shoots it right in Beckmeyer's face.
Yeah. Zizzers with the full court press on Beckmeyer and Nambara. The pass to Chastain, just off. Republic rebounds both of those balls, just couldn't get it up, but the Zizzers end up fouling. Looks like that foul was on Lawson.
Scissor, number 25, Olivia Lawson, her first personal foul, first team foul for the Scissors.
Beckmeyer recovering that.
Looks like West Plains is running a zone offense right now, but a lot of attention on Beckmeyer because that's pretty obvious that she's a star out there. They're going to run their offense through her as she pulls up for three.
Beckmeyer from almost the volleyball line. Lawson bringing it down for him again. Nambara with the steal, and it ends up in the hands of Blades. To Chastain at the top. The pass down to Norman for the two.
Jumper's good. Elena Norma.
Lawson with the pass stolen by Norman, and Norman puts in for an easy two.
Definitely a momentum shift. I thought the first couple minutes West Plains was looking really sharp, and now Republic's pressing up on defense and it's applying a lot of pressure.
Yes,
So West Plains is going to go ahead and call a timeout and try to get their act together. We'll be back after this break from Central Propane and Gas.
Great timeout call by the Zizzers right there. As you see, Republic is just getting super aggressive with this defense and is working out great for them. Lawson fumbles the ball up top to Dixon, back to Williams. And Lawson with the easy two. Nambara bringing it down.
That's a great back cut there by the Zizzers. I mean, they're just really trying to pass and cut every chance they get as Cayman Beckmeyer hits a three. Them passing up good shots, just moving the ball around to find good shots down low is working pretty well for them so far.
Yes, Lawson over to Dixon. Screen by Joyner. Step back.
I think that ball was tipped by Beckmeyer.
Chastain bringing the ball down pretty fast. Slows up to Nambara. Nambara up top with the ball. To Blades. To Beckmeyer in the corner. And I think Beckmeyer stepped out just barely on the side.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from our view, but I guess she just barely stepped out.
And checking in is number 22 for
33.
Oh, sorry, 33 for the Zizzers, Judd. Double dribble on Lawson right there, bringing the ball down the court. Beckmeyer's gonna bring the ball down for the Lady Tigers. Over to Blades. Back to Beckmeyer, up top. To Beckmeyer, Nambara. Chastain with the three in the corner.
Republic seems to be very confident with shooting three, especially Beckmeyer. She'll pull up from dang near anywhere, so
Yeah.
I think they're just going to keep on shooting threes, which is the complete opposite of what West Plains is doing.
Yeah. Joyner in the corner with the ball, trying to look for somewhere to pass. Finds Judd. And Nambara steals the ball from Judd, trying to drive. Nambara with a nice floater for two. Lawson bringing the ball down the court for the Zizzers. To Williams. Williams with the drive. Nambara looks to tip it out right there. And they call a travel on Williams, which I believe he called it because she picked up her pivot foot.
Seems like ever since Republic started bringing some more defensive pressure, it's been like a complete change of how the game's been going, definitely towards Republic's favor.
Yes. Nambara up top, pass to Beckmeyer. Driving in to Blades in the corner. Beckmeyer to Nambara. To Chastain in the corner, back to Beckmeyer. Does not look like they can find any open shots, and Beckmeyer just puts one up there, and that was a close. Chastain, trap. Ooh. Foul call on the Zizzers.
That's called number 33 for the Zizzers.
They called the foul on 33, Hannah Judd. And they will be throwing the ball in. Not a shooting foul.
21, Drew Harris.
The Zizzers steal the pass. And Williams cannot get to that pass in time. Looks like the Zizzers kind of just rushed that one and ended up throwing the ball away.
Yep.
Beckmeyer bringing the ball down the court. To Nambara. Not much for this Lady Tigers offense right now. They've been having to make tough shots. Chastain in the corner, back up to Beckmeyer up top. Beckmeyer trying to make moves to get into the paint. To Nambara. Just off. Rebounded by Joyner. Lawson bringing the ball down. Pass over to Dixon. Back up to Lawson. To Harris up top. Harris trying to find something. Back to Lawson. Great defense by Blades trying to get that ball out. Beckmeyer right there. Falls to the floor, and a lot of people are arguing for a foul call. I did not see it. Did you see anything?
I couldn't see it. The ref was in my way, but all I saw was Beckmeyer take a pretty hard fall.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. I just saw her end up on the ground, and it could have costed, Republic, depending how much time, what happened right there. A basket, but.
Yeah, well, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be back after this break, brought to you by Central Gas and Propane.
And we are back. Republic with the ball. Nambara bringing it down the court. Drives in. Gets Beckmeyer with the jump shot. Rebounded by Chastain. And it looks like Chastain just lost control of that ball coming down.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty obvious to me that Republic's entire offense runs through Cayman Beckmeyer. And not shooting the greatest right now, but if West Plains can keep on containing her to not scoring a bunch of points, I think that's going to be the key for them.
Yes, I think if they shut down Beckmeyer, it will definitely be a good game and a close game because as we see, the Zizzers are down by 6 right now, and they have great ball movement, just short. We have Beckmeyer bringing it down. Down to Mason, out back to Beckmeyer. Chastain with the rebound. Back to Nambara up top. Nambara with a nice drive. Williams with the rebound. It looks like they're going to call a foul on Chastain trying to get that ball back from Williams. We have Lawson bringing it down for the Zizzers. Back to Joyner. Joyner with the shot just does not fall. Beckmeyer bringing it back down the court for the Lady Tigers. To Nambara up top. Blades to Beckmeyer. Nambara looking for a shot. Gets Chastain open in the corner. Good for 3.
Republic just keeps letting the 3 fly, and it's working out pretty well for them. I think probably most of their points are 3-pointers, and they're taking an early lead to this game.
Yes. Williams with the ball. Bringing it up top. Looking for a drive. Out to Joyner. Joyner looking for something. Great defense by Chastain. And they will get the jump ball.
Back in for the Tigers, 22, Lena Norma.
Looks like it'll be the Zizzers ball under the basket. Not see anyone. To Williams. Back to Dixon. Nambara hitting that ball out. Williams up top. Williams looking for a drive. Out to Joyner. To Dixon up top. Dixon for the 3. Just off. Lawson with the ball down below. Up to Dixon. To Harris in the corner. Back up to the top to Dixon. Dixon looking for some. Nambara with great defense. That'll be 5 seconds. Great defense by Nambara and staying with her throughout that whole drive to cause a 5-second violation.
Republic's defense have been doing a really great job playing some really tough defense, pressing up on West Plains players. They're not responding to it very well, so I can definitely see Republic staying with this pressure the rest of the game.
Chastain down in the paint. Great steal by Lawson, trying to throw it off of Price, but I think she stepped out before she could get the throw off. Chastain throwing it in for the Lady Tigers. Out to Beckmeyer up top with the 3. Great rebound by Nambara. To Chastain in the corner. Down to Beckmeyer. Beckmeyer with a great move, just fell short. Beckmeyer with the rebound. Puts it back up, not good. And 1 for Norman.
That was another hard fall.
Yes. But they got the foul call this time.
That's coming 22 for the Scissors. Alyssa Joyner, her first personal foul, 13 foul. Scissors.
I believe this will be the first free throw of the game so far.
Wait, which team called the timeout?
The Scissors.
Oh, okay. Well.
We have Norman at the free throw line for 1. Rebound by Harris to Williams. Williams bringing the ball down. Joyner cut up to the top. Driving through the paint. Joyner with the 2.
2-point target, Alyssa Joyner.
And it looks like that's her first 2 points, which Beckmeyer has been guarding her with great defense. And Joyner with the pass to Williams on a fast break, and Williams will put it in for 2. Nambara bringing down the ball.
Now you see West Plains also bringing the press, try to give them the same pressure that Republic's been giving them the whole game.
Great shot by Beckmeyer in that move to make her be wide open. Joyner bringing down the ball. And a great job by Republic's offense, splitting that full court press and getting that open bucket. Williams driving to Harris. Back to Dixon in the corner. To Williams. Not finding anything open in the paint for West Plains right here. Lawson at the top of the key, and they call a travel on Lawson.
Welcome to the floor for the Scissors. Number 3, Mary Clark gone. And welcome back, 33, Hannah Judd.
And Mary gone and Hannah Judd checking in for the West Plains Scissors. Up at the top to Nambara, to Beckmeyer, to Chastain in the corner. Great pass by Chastain to open up Norman in the paint. Joyner bringing the ball down for the Scissors. Nowhere to go.
That might have been a travel.
Yeah.
I think that might have
Gone
been
with the
another
ball,
one.
stuck. And I think they called 3 seconds in the lane. If
They called 3 seconds in the lane, but the ref is over there laughing, talking to their coach. I'm pretty sure that that was just a makeup call in order to like call for those 2 travels that they missed.
Yeah, because I did not think that was 3 seconds in the lane, but. And they call a travel on Chastain, trying to save the ball from going out of bounds. Nowhere to go for the Zizzers right here in the inbounds play. They get it to Judd. Judd bringing down the ball. Great defense by Norman. To Gone. To Williams up top. Great cut by Judd and not finished with a Republic defender in her face. Chastain with the drive. Kicking it out to Blades. In and out.
Oh,
They called a foul on Chastain. I think she was trying to get a jump ball or rip it out right there, but
she came in a little bit aggressive, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a foul. I think that was just a jump ball.
I thought they were gonna call a jump ball too, but and it looks like Molly Blades checks in and Molly Mason checks in as well. Joyner bringing the ball down for the Zizzers.
Beckmeyer following Joyner everywhere on the court. I mean, Beckmeyer doesn't want to give her a chance to score. Obviously, their best player. As I say that, she gets a layup to go. But, you know, best player on best player, Beckmeyer's face guarding her for the most time.
Yes, and she only has 4 points, which is not like her because she is an amazing basketball player. And for Beckmeyer to hold her to only 4 is great job by Beckmeyer. Chastain checking back in for number 15, Alex Price. Nambara bringing down the ball. The pass over to Chastain. Back to Nambara up top. To Beckmeyer. Out to the corner for Blades, just off. Great rebound by Williams. Lawson looking up to Judd. Judd to Lawson. Lawson driving in. Great shot by Lawson.
That's a nice take by Lawson. Get a nice floater to go. Get West Point some points.
Nambara to Beckmeyer. Beckmeyer being trapped. Back to Nambara. To Chastain for the 3. A little too much. Beckmeyer with the great rebound and gets it back up. Joyner will bring down the ball. And Joyner hasn't brought down the ball all game till they like noticed that she hasn't been getting the ball much in the paint, which I think that's a great job by the Zizzers.
Cayman Beckmeyer take the ball down the court. With 40 seconds left in the first half.
Sorry about that. And it will be Zizzer's ball. Joyner inbounding it for him. And Joyner overpass. Great save by Lawson. To Williams up top. Pass to Lawson down low. Great defense by Nambara again. She's been great so far. Timeout. Called by the Lady Tigers. And that timeout is sponsored by Central Gas and Propane. We'll be back. And we are back from that Lady Tigers timeout, and it looks like Beckman will be passing in for Nambara to take it down the court. Looks like the Lady Tigers are just kind of moving around to just get the last shot and make sure the Zizzers don't score again before half. Blades at the top, pass down to Norman, to Nambara. Oh, just too far. And that will be halftime. Great half for the Lady Tigers. They are up by 9 points on the Zizzers. Like the Zizzers down completely, and even like the Zizzers best player, you see she is only at 6 points, which is great defense by Beckmeyer most of the time. So we will be back after half.
Great first half played by your team. What do you want to see carry over to the second half?
Definitely want to see the defensive effort. I felt like our defense has been playing really well in the half court, and then just, cut out some of we've had some turnovers that have been unforced. If we just cut out that and continue to get good looks and hopefully get some things fall, I feel like, hopefully extend this thing out and just go from there. But definitely, if we can play defense like we have in the first half, I kind of like our chances.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Good luck. There you go.
We'll get you afterward. You're good. All right, we switch and break audio.
3-point line is good.
Back to Nambara. Nambara, great pass to Norman for the 2. Lawson to Joyner. Looks like Joyner overthrew it a little too much to Harris.
It's a quick timeout call coming in from halftime by those Scissors, and we'll be back after this break, brought to you by Central Gas and Propane.
Pass in by Beckmeyer to Nambara. Back to Beckmeyer. To Blades up top. Blades out to the corner to Beckmeyer. Into the paint for Chastain. To Nambara. Great cut by Nambara for the 2.
Great cut there by Republic. Score and extending their lead to 15 points.
Green. Great shot by Dixon right there. Nambara bringing the ball down the court to Beckmeyer up top. Beckmeyer drives with a little floater, and that's in for Beckmeyer.
First half, Beckmeyer taking a lot of threes, weren't really falling. Now she's resorting to taking it to the basket. It's been working out a little bit better for her, I think.
Joyner driving down, looking for some. Out to Williams for the 3. Just a bit off. Nambara gets that rebound. Oh, Nambara looks to slip. Lawson jumps over her. Pass to Dixon. Dixon on Beckmeyer with the jump shot for Dixon.
That was interesting to say the least.
That was a crazy play. They won a foul for Lawson jumping over.
Yeah.
Nambara. Great rebound by Lawson right there. Passes over to Joyner. To Harris.
Right now, I think West Plains just needs to trust their best player, stop turning the ball over, let Joyner go to work, try to put some points up.
Great swat by Lawson on Beckmeyer right there. With a great drive, just a little too much. Beckmeyer with the rebound.
Sometimes the layup like that's pretty tough. You're just coming in really hot, and it's hard to stay controlled and get to fall.
Nambara at the top of the key. Over to Beckmeyer, to Blades in the corner. Back to Beckmeyer, to Chastain. It's like Williams got that rebound over to Lawson. To Harris. To Williams. Back to Lawson. Just a little short by Lawson. Beckmeyer with the rebound. Nambara will take it up for the Lady Tigers. Over to Blades. Beckmeyer in the corner. Back to Blades up top. To Nambara up top. Chastain in the corner. Beckmeyer gets fouled by, see what number that was?
I could not, but the ref will say in a second.
Fouls coming from
22.
Scissors.
Joyner.
Joyner. Her second personal foul. First team foul for the Scissors. 2-line shoot 2 for the Tigers. Cayman Beckermeyer.
It is good for Beckmeyer. That's only the second free throw we've seen all game so far.
Yeah, Kevin Beckmeyer's 12th point.
And she knocks them both down. Pass into Lawson, back to Joyner. Joyner to Lawson up top. Back to Joyner. Joyner for the 3. It is good for Joyner. And that's the first open shot we really seen her take. And
Kevin
just
Beckmeyer's
great
been
shot.
all over.
Yes. Beckmeyer for her own 3. A little too much on that one. Williams and Blades fight for the ball. And then that will be a timeout called by Republic.
All right, well, we will be back after this break brought to you by Central Gas and Propane.
Chastain to pass in the ball for the Lady Tigers. Beckmeyer in the corner. Looking for some. Passes back to Chastain. To Beckmeyer up top. To Nambara. To Blades over in the corner. Nambara to Chastain in the corner. Great pass. Great ball movement by this Lady Tigers. And it's going to be a foul call on the Scissors.
Foul's call number 10 for the Scissors. Kaylee Dixon, her first personal foul, second team foul. For West Plains, shooting 2 for the Tigers. Massari Nambara.
Misses her first shot. Down the second.
Tigers, number 15, Alex Price.
Alex Price checking in for Chastain. Joyner bringing it down the court for the Scissors. To Judd up top. It looks like Lawson traveled, trying to put that ball back up after rebounding. And Barra looks to bring down the ball. Great job by Nambara breaking through that full court press. And now through that trap. To Beckmeyer up top. Oh, Beckmeyer tripping. To Blades in the corner. To Nambara up top. To Price, back to Nambara. To Blades, back up to Nambara. Back to Blades, to Beckmeyer. Back to Nambara up top. To Beckmeyer. To Mason down below, but fumbles it.
I thought there was
Joyner.
Sorry, I thought there was some contact. I thought they would have called a foul.
Beckmeyer with the rebound. And Barra taking it up top. To Blades up top. Back to Nambara. I've noticed this Republic offense is just taking it slow and taking as much time as they can off this clock.
Yeah, they don't want to take any bad shots either. They're passing up good shots for great shots. I think that's been something they've been doing good all game, and that's why they're winning it.
Yes, I agree with that. Back up top to Beckmeyer. To Blades. Blades driving. And back up to Nambara. Nambara looking for room to drive. And Jug gets the charge call.
I think that's definitely the right call. She came flying in there, Judd at position, and ultimately gets the charge. Hopefully they can get some momentum at the end of this third quarter and make a comeback.
Great job by Judd setting her feet in the paint and taking that hit too. We have Joyner with the ball up top. Over to Lawson up top. To Joyner. Price with the rebound. Williams did not get that shot off in time, which doesn't really matter because it was off.
To me, it looked like Price didn't quite know. There was like no time left on the clock. So, yeah, we'll have a 38-26 ball game going into the fourth quarter. We'll be back after this break, brought to you by Central Gas and Propane.
Lawson bringing down the ball for the Scissors. Drive by Lawson and puts it in for two. Great job by Lawson seeing that lane and seeing that she can drive through and get the easy layup. And Nambara throwing it a little too high for Beckmeyer to get it to. Lawson taking it up top. They call it travel on Lawson. I was trying to work around the screen by Williams. Nambara taking the ball down the court. Back to Chastain. Back to Nambara. To Beckmeyer for three.
Downtown, three-point bucket,
Kimmy Beckmeyer finally getting a three to fall for her 16th point of the game.
Looked like the over the back call on Lawson for a foul. Nambara and Beckmeyer looking to break the press. To Nambara. Great job by Chastain getting that rebound and putting it back up for two. Joyner bringing the ball down for the Scissors. Pass out to Judd. Judd driving. And they call a travel on Judd. Oh.
West Plains will call timeout. We'll be back after this break, brought to you by Central Gas and Propane.
Nambara bringing the ball down the court for the Lady Tigers. Pass over to Beckmeyer to Chastain in the corner. Judd gets her hand in there and tips it right out of bounds out of Chastain's hands. Beckmeyer to Nambara. Back to Beckmeyer. To Blades in the corner. To Beckmeyer down low.
2-point blockage,
Beckmeyer doing a great job down in the paint. Even if she's contested, she's been making those shots fall in for two. And we have Joyner bringing the ball down the court. To Lawson up top. To Williams. To Lawson. Off Beckmeyer's back. And Norman with the grab off of Beckmeyer's back to Nambara. Over to Blades, back to Nambara, to Beckmeyer, to Nambara. Over to Blades. Corner to Beckmeyer. Beckmeyer to Norman, fumbles the ball around. Blades. Beckmeyer with the great save. And that'll be a foul call on Norman.
I mean, this game, I think it's pretty much over at this point. Republicans played very well. West Plains came out the gate hot. Couldn't quite keep up the pace that they started in the first couple minutes of the game. And after that, it was pretty much all Republic.
To Dixon. Dixon driving down the court. Great defense by Blades with the steal, and she will get a fast break of her own and draws the foul. And that'll be number 10 on the Zizzers with the foul call, Kaylee Dixon.
Foul call on Zizzer, number 10, Kaylee Dixon, her second personal foul.
To the line, we will have Molly Blades for two.
2 for the Tigers, Molly Blades.
And knocks down her first shot. Knocks down both of those free throws. Over to Dixon. Back to Joyner. It looked like she kind of tripped over her foot with tight defense by Beckmeyer. Great job by her. And that will be a travel on Joyner. Nambara over to Blades. Back to Nambara. Back to Blades. Back to Nambara. To Chastain. Back to Nambara. To Blades. Blades looking for a shot down to Norman, but swat away by the scissors. To Nambara, up to Beckmeyer up top.
3-point bucket. It's good. Taylor Beckmeyer.
That's good for 3 by Beckmeyer. Joyner bringing the ball down. Joyner looks to fall. Beckmeyer grabs the ball, looks up to Chastain, and Chastain for the easy 2.
Kind of just looked like her legs gave out, and not much that she could have done. Republic is just running away with this one at this point.
Yes. Williams, Dixon. Dixon back to Williams. Williams for the 3. Just off. Good board by Beckmeyer. Over to Nambara. Nambara to Blades. Back to Nambara. Over to Beckmeyer. To Norman in the paint. And Norman for 2. It didn't look like the Scissors had much height to defend Norman down there.
Nope. Well, timeout called by the Scissors. We'll be back after this break brought to you by Central Gas Propane.
Williams will bring the ball down the court. Williams looking for something. Over to Dixon. Over to Gone. Gone driving. Trying to look for Joyner. Great job by Dixon getting in there and getting the jump ball for the Scissors. Nambara bringing the ball down the court. Over to Blades, back to Chastain. Down to Mason, out to Chastain. Dixon looks to get in there and will get 2.
Basket's good. Kaylee Dixon for 2.
Nambara bringing the ball down the court. Over to Blades, across to Chastain. To Nambara up top. Blades up top. Back to Blades. Over to Chastain. Up top to Blades. Over to a corner for Chastain. Double dribble called on Blades.
Rocky Woods. And welcome to the floor for the Scissors. One, Zoe Shorthorst.
Republic has their bench players coming in, save their starters, prevent them from getting hurt, to finish off the last 2 minutes of this game.
24, Lucy Heffer.
Williams bringing down the ball for the Scissors. Looks to be a foul on Alex Price for Republic.
For the Lady Tigers.
Mason with the ball up top. Over to Walker. Mason with the ball. Over to Price. Price to Walker. Back to Walker up top. The pass from Price to Mason was broken up, and it looked like Mason touched it right before it went out. Williams bringing down the ball for the Scissors. Oh, that was still a great drive by Williams, going under the basket even just to get that pretty tough shot, but still was pretty close to making it.
Yeah, that was just an awkward, tough shot to make. Almost spun it in, but didn't quite fall.
Price bringing down the ball. And it looks like she just slipped. Slow to get up. A little too hard off the backboard for Walker, bringing it down the court, over to Price. Joyner fumbling around the rebound. Hayford to the pass to Dawson. And looks like Dawson got tripped up on Mason. Pretty hard fall by Dawson.
30 for the Tigers, Molly Mason, her first personal foul, fourth team foul for Republic.
Just try to throw it up to Joyner. It looks great job by Dawson to save that, but just right to Republic. And that will be the game. Lady Republic Tigers 54, Lady Scissors 30.
Yeah, great game played by Republic. Damon Beckmeyer finishing with, I believe, 21 points.
I think it was 24.
Somewhere in the 20s.
Yeah.
Great game played by Republic. I'm not sure who they will play next. But coming up next, we have a game between Nixa and some other team.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know the name. I think we will have a player of the game interview with Cayman Beckmeyer here soon.
Barbecue nachos.